Hey, hello, and how are you? What's up to my KKC crew? KKCs, I got a quick message for you. So the message that kind of came through was kind of easy. It wasn't even so much, I think, that the Lord navigated to put a message in my heart. It was just that the Lord was kind of ministering to me and talking to me, and so what's good for the gander could be best for the geese, right? So the Lord was talking to me, and he was talking about, the decisions that you make are extremely important because you're putting on weight. When I say putting on weight, W-E-I-G-H-T, I'm not talking about actually putting on weight. I'm talking about weighing yourself down with things that are going to be very, very difficult and very hard to get rid of. God, how do I give you an example? So for a fact, let's do the physical. In the physical, if you gain too much fat, gain too much weight, continue to make your mass grow within body, it makes it very difficult for you to do normal everyday functioning activities such as walking, even breathing, talking, running, all those rigorous things that you would do on natural with the body. You can't do it if you've gotten too much weight, right? We've seen, 600-pound this and my big fat loss and all that kind of stuff, most weight loss gain, all that kind of stuff, because we see that these people are ultimately working on a gain of getting back to a certain size where they can regulate, right? So it was interesting that the Lord was telling me that in our lives we're in the same accord. When we start adding too much onto our life, it's going to be very difficult for us to continue to navigate because we got too much weight on us. That can be, for an instance, when you tell yourself that you're the only person that can come through for your friend group. Your friends always got a dilemma, they always got something going on, and they always running and throwing their problems, situations, and etc. on you. And you're open to that because at this point your container says you can carry it, right? But then you find out that your container can't carry it until it's time for you to deal with something, and your container's full. It's full of other people's things. It's full of other people's problems. It's full of other people's situations. Well, when that becomes a thing, then it's difficult for you because now you don't even have enough space for yourself. Even with that, we got so many other things that go on in our life. I can think about, when we get on a job and where the person is always doing the work, always coming in on time, always doing above and beyond, always doing overachiever type appeal. And then you got people around you who are like, oh, I'm just showing up. Oh, I'm just here. I really don't even clock in. What am I saying? When you're taking on too much weight, it is that same weight that's going to cause you to slow down. It makes you harder to move forward. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, well, Lord, tell me what I need to know. The Lord said, well, there are so many ways in which we add weight to ourselves. I can think about some of the things that I've taken on as responsibilities, and I took them on myself. Nobody placed them on me. Somebody might have just said something and I said, oh, well, I can help. Oh, well, I can do. And not to say that I couldn't at that time, but sometimes what we'll do is because we showed up to do, somebody else won't do. And that's a problem because at the time we're needing some assistance. That's why we came in there to lend a helping hand, because we wanted them to also lend a hand. And what we found is that they tried to stick us with the weight of the problem. It ain't even your problem to carry. So the Lord was talking to me and he said, you got to get rid of the weights. It's that dead weight that will not allow you to move forward. So you start to think in your life, what all is a weight? Anything that is not in the benefits of what's going to help you proceed forward is a weight. Now, I think about some of the decisions that I made, very much so in the younger version of my life. There were certain things I was very, very, very observant. I didn't miss very much of anything. Whether I said anything about anything or not, I missed very little. But I remember looking and watching and seeing how important some of these pivotal things that happen in our lives are, and that you have to be mindful and careful that when it's time for you to do it, step into it proudly and do it. But when it's not, don't. One of those things I'm talking about is, and I'm not talking about circumstances that are out of our control. There are so many circumstances that are out of our control that will change our trajectory of life, will change our pathways forever. What am I saying about that? Natural disasters that happen, fires, tsunamis, hurricanes, tornadoes, not those kind of things. I'm not talking about when somebody becomes really, really sick in your family whom you love, whether it's a family or a friend or a neighbor. I'm not talking about when somebody dies in your family. Those are things that are outside of our control. And so they are going to affect us. They are going to do something to us, and we are going to work towards healing every single day, and the Lord will provide, we will heal. I'm talking about things that are within our control, within our grasp, within our reach, within our control of having. Things like having children. Listen, I teach children. I have children around me most of my life, and I love kids. But you have to understand there's a difference between being great with kids, knowing kids, having kids around you, and having kids. That's something that you as a person do want to take the time to make sure that you're ready to do when it's time to do, because of the fact that those children don't ask to be in this world. So therefore you as a parent got to step up and make sure they don't never have to regret that they were born into yours. The second thing that I think about that's within our control, smoking and drinking. I've never been a fan. Me, myself, personally, and I don't know nobody that does smoke or drink. I don't want you to feel bad. Oh, that's just her. She don't knock it. If it's what you do, it's what you do. If you socially do it or whether you do it on a regular basis has nothing to do with me. There's no judgments on I'm speaking from my peripheral and my understanding, and this is what I believe, and I can do that. I believe that with smoking and drinking, those type of things are in our control. How much we do it or if we do it at all. And those kinds of things, you know, some people I think about who have gotten hooked to other things besides whatever the basis they might have started with, which is a cigarette or a light beer or something. And they became at some point a drunk, or they became at some point, other words that I can call that I won't say, but what I'm saying is those things are within our control, and we have to be mindful that first time that we did it. So my personal opinion is to being sexually involved. Now, me, myself, personally, I always commit to doing what? Supporting the virgin and the one that is celibate. Virgins first, because I know for a fact it's a very difficult task. Listen, I live that every day. That's a very difficult task for people to believe and to understand why you kept your virginity. But for you, I say good job. Continue to keep that, because what you have is something priceless. You don't have to explain to anybody why it means so much to you. Just know that it is important. For the celibate, the person who's recreated themselves, the recreated virgin, the person who says, I no longer want to have sex because of just meaningless, physical play. I really want something more meaningful in the emotional realm, in the spiritual realm. For you, I say good job and kudos to you, because that's not easy. What am I saying? When we add so many weights onto us, those are all situational weights. They're in our control. When we add too many weights on us, we find ourselves in a place where we are overbeared with so much. So what you want to do is you want to make sure you keep yourself as weightless as you can be. I don't know why the Lord dropped that in my spirit, but it was such a beautiful message. And I said, Lord, listen, and those are not the only ones. Those are just the main ones that came to me. If it can wait, let it wait, so that it doesn't become a W-E-I-G-H-T on your life. Meaning, if it can wait, W-A-I-T, let it wait, so that it doesn't become a weight in your life. So again, I don't know who that's for, but hopefully some KKCer out there is like, I got it, sis. Writing your notes, I got it, sis. All right, love y'all. Bye.